Hello everybody, this is Tara from the main library. I'd like to welcome you virtually back here. Looking forward to the day when we can all get together in person. Today we're going to do a bracelet craft. And I've made a couple of these already to show you what we hope to end up with. And these will be available as grab-and-go kits. I'll have the leather cord and the bead stringing line all cut up and ready for you. Also, I'll have some beads in your grab-and-go kit, so give us a call and come get one of those. So the first thing you want to do is cut a piece of this leather cord at about 30 inches for most wrists. And you're going to tie a knot here at the top where your top is. And just a regular overhand knot, not anything fancy. We're not doing macrame here, but you don't want it to be too big. That's one thing I have noticed. The ones that I made that were too large slipped off. So here's our cord, doubled over. This is another handy little tool that I made. It's called a bent tube paper clip. And you always need one of these in case you mess up. You can kind of back your stitches out and redo them. So next thing you're going to do is tape this down because you need it to be pretty secure. And if your beads come on a string like mine do, go ahead and liberate those into a bowl. It's so much easier than trying to catch them when they're rolling around everywhere. And everybody's wrist is different, but I find that these 22 beads was just about perfect for my wrist. My wrist is about a 7.5 inch. So next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your bead string, which is basically fishing line, right? And on the left side, and I'm saying the left because that's the way I'm right-handed and that's the way I need to start. I'm going to take these two down also. So I did this on another bracelet and it certainly helped. They didn't wander everywhere. So on this one, you're going to put it under the left one like that. I know it's really hard to see, and you're going to just tie another knot in your fishing line bead stringing material, but you want to leave about maybe 3-inch tail right there. And I'm going to pull it off over here because it always gets in my way. Tape's so handy. So we tied a knot. I'm going to go ahead and tie another one. I have to tell you what else I did because when you get your kit, it might be a little different. I took this beading cord and this string and I laid it flat and taped it flat on my desk for a couple of days, and that made it lose some of its curl because when I was dealing with it, it was really kind of hard to deal with. Next thing we're going to do, find this end of your beading string, grab a bead, and just put it through. If you're like me, you better have your glasses on. All right, that one's not working. Do this one. Some of the bead holes are easier to get through than others. There we went. And you're going to put your bead in the center of the two leather cords. And then you're going to take your bead string and go under the right hand leather cord, under it. And then you're going to go through this hole one more time. Like that. And still it helps if you kind of keep it right there in the middle. And then you're going to go under the left hand cord. And what you've pretty much done here is make a figure 8 with your bead in the middle of your figure 8, because you went under this one and over and back through the bead and then under the left one and pull it tight, but not too tight. If you make it too tight, I had to redo a couple because if you make it too tight, they will actually kind of pop out a line. So you don't want to do that. Anyway, all right, now onto your second bead, and it's always the same thing. String your bead on your bead string, go under the right hand leather cord, and then back through your bead again, like that. And then pull it tight and kind of snug it up. But before you get too far, go under the left side again. And I just kind of snug it a little bit. And see there? Looks good. You can also use the bead stringing material that looks more like thread if you want to. I just found using this was easier than dealing with the beading needle. So, and again, put on our third bead, and we're just going to continue all the way down till we get long, like I said, long enough, as long as we want our bracelet to be. If you want it longer than 22 beads, feel free to put on more. But I found that longer than that, and it just didn't stay on my wrist very well.
So,
all right,
they can get this material from not only the kit, but from, like, say, Walmart?
Yes, you can. All of this can easily be purchased at Walmart or any of your favorite hobby stores, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. But the ones that I'm going to give you in your grab and go kit came from Amazon. No, they didn't. They came from Fire Mountain Beads. There. And under the left one. And there we go. And I will just finish this out, and then I'll show you. And I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I'll show you when I get to the end how easy it is to finish it off. You'll be so happy. It's not that difficult macrame knot we did last time we made a bracelet. Okay, and finally, here we are, our last bead. And all I've done is my usual figure 8 pattern, around and around, keeping the bead in the middle as much as possible. Back through. And I have messed up a time or two because Samantha and I are talking, and I had to use my handy dandy tool here to rip a few stitches out. So if you do, no big deal, just rip it out and go back to it and fix it one more time, because if you don't, the beads don't lay right. Okay, so now we're on our last thing. We finished our last bead, and that I ended up with, I think, 25. So.
And what size beads were these again?
These are 6mm beads. Bigger sizes work well, smaller sizes work well. This is just a good medium bead. It's not, I didn't want anything too big or too small. So anyway, all I'm doing right here is tying an overhand knot, but I'm gonna go through the thing twice because I think they call it a surgeon's knot. Or that's what somebody told me one time. And then I'm tightening it up. I call it a fishing knot because that's the knot that I use when I go fishing. And I tied it off right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my figure 8 pattern one more time without a bead. Actually, I'm going to do it 2 more times and no beads. Here we go. Just tighten it up a little bit. And I like to go around because I'm tightening it up. But I want it to be about as far as that one is. So we're just gonna tighten that up. Tie another knot here. I'm a big knot tier because I don't like it when my bracelets come undone. So there we are. Tied it, ta-da. I'm gonna take my tape off here and just one more knot just to make sure everything is nice and secure. But this also gives it a finished look. So we have our knot on this end. We're gonna have a knot just like it on this. We have a knot at the beginning. We're gonna have a knot just like it here at the end. And it just gives it a nice finished look. Tighten it up nicely and cover that fishing line beading material like that. Looks good. And then you're gonna cut that off like that. And here's my favorite medium, my glue. I'll pop it right there just lightly. Then I'm gonna take this one. And remember, there's that tail that we started with. I said, save your tail right there. And you're gonna feed it through this first bead one more time. And that bead should be able to handle one more piece. There, like that. Feed it through there. That way you don't have any dangling pieces that might poke you or, you know, catch on your hose or anything. Cut it off short. And again, hit it with a little bit of super glue. You can't see it, doesn't hurt anything. And the last thing we need, one more knot. You're gonna tie another knot a little bit away from the last knot on your tails right here. And that is what is going to be your clasp, like this. It's gonna end up looking like that. And you're gonna take this piece and feed it through there, and it will, sometimes depending on how small your wrist is, you can do that one too, but it'll hold, and it really will hold well on your wrist. And after we do that, we're gonna cut these tails off. But some people, and it's perfectly fine if you want to, put a button on the end right here. And when they do that, then they have this and they can hook that around the button. And that works really well too. But this is easy to just cut it off right there, give it a little more of my glue, and there you have your bracelet. And you made it all yourself, and you can make one for your friends. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to have y'all back here at the library again soon. Thank you.